and hi, my name is NADIA ABDULLAH BB1F110230. So today I will explain the wrong ways in applying job. So I have 3 points of wrong ways in applying job. The first one is always doing the spelling and grammatical errors. Spelling and grammatical errors is the most important part when applying jobs, especially when doing the resume. This is because spelling and grammatical error will make you look unprofessional in job application. So, if you know that you are not so good in spelling and grammar, you can refer to someone to check your resume or application form, so that he or she can help if anything needs to be corrected. Or another alternative that you can do is run it to spell check in your computer system. Because 1 or 2 errors maybe still can be accepted, but several mistakes or errors can get your application form tossed to the garbage. In addition, yes, spelling mistake is one of the most common mistake that we always do. But please avoid and don't ever misspell the company's name that you are applying job to, because it will make you look terrible and it will make the employer have bad impression of yourself. Just like David Gikadi, the co-founder and CEO of Voice.com, said that one unforgivable job application mistake is if a candidate spells out company name incorrectly. So, before you submit your application form or your resume, please do recheck the company's name. Make sure you have spelled it correctly. The mistake that candidates always do is they do not prepare all the required attachment, and sometimes they give a wrong document. So before you apply the job, make sure you fulfill all the required attachment and give the right document with the right format, just like what the employer asks. Because when you do this mistake, it will show that you don't have the ethical value, which you are not diligent to check what they ask for, and you show that you are not well prepared before you apply that particular job. After that, the wrong ways in applying job is you apply job that you are unqualified. For example, if the job description mentioned that you need to have knowledge and experience with computer programming, but you don't fit this criteria and still apply that job, that means you have done a mistake there. You should not apply if you don't fit to the characteristic that they need. By avoiding all of these mistakes, it can help you to show your ethical value, which are you a very professional and meticulous person. So this can help to convince the employer to recruit you as their employee.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Ilya binti HAZAMI. I will present the 7 various wrong ways in applying job. Make sure read the direction carefully and thoroughly, because you can to ignore or even trash if you have any mistake on it where it shows your lack of attention to detail. You should never leave any part of your job application, because the managers put a lot of time to create the application, that you should show your knowledge every part of the application by filling. you should always tailor your resume and cover letter to the position you are applying because it makes you a stronger applicant and makes you highlight skill and experience that are applicable to the job. It is because the manager are more likely to consider you for your previous experience. This reflects badly on you because it shows that your only goal is to get a job, and maybe true, you want the manager to think you are passionate about the position because when you apply for one position, a company will consider you for all positions. Employment gaps are perfectly fine to have in your application. You want to make sure to explain these gaps to the manager, otherwise he or she will assume the worst. Never undersell yourself because it's difficult to find the perfect balance bragging and underselling yourself. Always make sure to state all your skills, experience, and capabilities on your resume and cover letter. Never lie on application because the manager will check your application, and if you are caught in a lie, they will immediately throw your application in the trash.
Assalamualaikum, my name is NORALIAH binti LAWDJI, taking course Financial Management and Banking HE06 from Sempurna Sabah, and I am 22 years old. In this video, I will talk about 3 types of various wrong way in applying job. First, is your resume overdone? Second, is your email too long or not? And the last one is, don't use passive voice. Now, I will explain my first point, which is your resume overdone or not? According to George Bernacle from Certified Professional Resume Writer, there is 2 common mistakes that candidates always done wrong when they do their resume. First, the resume too long, and second is using multiple font types and size. The cause of too long resume, it is because they capture too much work history or display sporadic employment. This mistaken, they don't give any benefit at all, but it just gives us unheard to applicant chance to get the job. Another mistake when we done a resume is using multiple font types and size that just make the resume look like inconsistent, unorganized, and not interesting to read at all. My second point is your resume too long or not? Usually, resume is submitted through the email. But what will be happen if the receiver of your resume get the email too short or too long and not really describe about yourself? This can be confusing the reader or the receiver when they read your resume. For example, you put there a short sentence like, here is my resume, or the email too long, like you put there multiple paragraphs summarize about yourself. If you done this mistake, it not give some interest for a reader to read your resume because the reader can be confused what is actually you want to say about your resume, or it's not clear for the reader actually. Other than that, sometimes a potential employer doesn't require a cover letter. Cover letter is most important when we submit our resume because cover letter explain more about what you are writing on your resume. However, cover letter must be done perfectly and not too long or not too short, because this also common mistake that many of candidates done for many times when they done their resume. Alright, let's move to my last point, which is don't use passive voice. Some applicants use passive voice, then just make cause the reader to lose interest in reading the resume. Passive voice not allowed to use because it just make yourself as a third person in your own sentence. Here I will give the comparison between these two. For example of active sentence, I will clean the house every Saturday. For the passive voice, the house will be cleaned by me every Saturday. Passive voice not show any interesting about you rather than active voice done. What I can conclude from all this point, we as human beings often underestimate something and do not do it seriously while we want to get it. For example, is the preparation of a resume. We send a resume to get a job offer. However, there are still many candidates who are not serious in preparing a good and attractive resume. If you make a resume correctly, then there is no such thing as the name of the error in sending the resume. Now, I will relate this very strong way with Islamic values. Islam teaches us to always be honest, patient, diligent, and hardworking. Therefore, complete your resume by providing correct information such as skills and work experience. Apply diligence in finding out what is good to make a resume. Finally, try and be patient in finding job. In that, the resume is the beginning you are accepted to work or not. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, I'm ADNIN KHALISHAH binti SHARUDDIN, and I'm going to present about the various wrong ways in applying jobs. Have you ever wondered why you didn't get any job offer even after you already submit your resume? There are few wrong ways in applying jobs you need to know. First, do not ever turn in the job application late. Does not matter even if you found the job posting 2 hours or 1 hour before. You must turn in your job application on time. This will give bad impression to the hiring managers if you're turning in your job application late. And even if the hiring manager accepts your application, this is unfair to the other applicants who turn in their job application on time. Second, do not leave the reader confused. In your resume, you have to give a clear and concise information of your background or any work history. A brief but direct explanation that easier for hiring manager to understand. For example, if you want to tell about the work history, you have to give the timeline. You have to give the reason why you quit the previous job. Third, your online presence might visually non-existent. What means with online presence is, we all know in today's era, everyone has a social media. Either it's Twitter or Instagram or even Facebook. Everyone has it. So some hiring managers will check your social media profiles. So before you apply any jobs, you have to see yourself in other people's view. What kind of person you want to be, or what kind of person you want the hiring manager to see you. So make sure to regularly manage your social media presence to keep it employer friendly. Even on the social media, you have to keep your manners. Last but not least, sending the same job application to everyone. When you want to apply jobs to various companies, do not just email every company in one email only. For example, you fill the recipient's box in email with all companies' email and send on the same time. That is not the correct way. The correct way is you have to specify and email one by one your application to each company. All the wrong ways in applying jobs, if we relate with the Islamic ethics and values, we know that we have to be knowledgeable, we have to be honest, we have to have experience, and always conduct ourselves in good manners. As Islam taught us, Amar Ma'ruf Nahi Munkar, we have to always conduct ourselves in good manners and avoid any wrongdoings, so that might help to secure a meaningful employment in the future.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. I am NURKHALEESA ADIBA BINTI KIFFLEE, and today I want to explain the various wrong ways in applying jobs that can relate with Islamic ethics and values. As we know, in this millennial era, many unemployed and also graduates of IPTA, IPTS are desperate to find a job and even willing to travel abroad to earn a living and meet the needs of life. Plus, with the COVID-19 pandemic that the world is facing is causing many people to lose their jobs due to companies not being able to bear the burden of debt and pay their employees' salaries. In Islamic ethical values, the Quran has emphasized the need of work, al-amal al-fili, and human action because it is highly praised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But to get the job, we must strive to apply for it, which I will explain among the mistakes often made by job applicants. Don't apply for non-existent jobs. Some job seekers make a mistake in this point where they apply for a job in a company that does not look for employee at all, possibly due to the error of looking at job advertisement either from internet website and brochure distribute. This action is a waste of time for job seekers because the energy and hope that they have poured into the company to be called interview did not get a response from the company applied for. This fact can be attributed to the Islamic ethical values of muraqabah, where the sect believe that everything in the world is under the control of Allah, so that a person will be more careful in behaving so as not to do useless deeds. Because when jumping into the workplace, of course we have to work hard. Examine every corner of the work so as not to commit any mistakes that could cause loss to ourselves and the company. Such action will be self-defeating because if inconsistent in the job, will likely be demoted or be in the position of dismissal due to the loss of the company. Don't apply for multiple jobs at the same time. At this point, I want to emphasize to never apply for jobs at the same time on the website, as job seekers tend to follow the same pattern, so they do not take the time to personalize job application to show that they are qualified to fill certain jobs. In addition, applying for many jobs at the same time will also cause the employer to start looking at you as a person who is not serious in applying for this job, because the employer will assume that if they accept you and at the same time, other companies also offer you job opportunities. It will be a waste of their time because it is likely to have rejected a candidate who may be better than you. In Islamic ethical values, it is referred to nifaq, hypocrite, in his heart because he is dishonest and believes in himself, and the person who has trust you, also there is no compatibility between heart and deed. Dress inappropriately when searching job or interview. This often happens to those who are looking for work on a walk-in basis. Although it looks trivial, but it is necessary to wear something neat and do not wear jeans or shorts, hats or skirts that are too short. How do prospective employees react if they see you want to apply for a job but wear something that will make people think that you are someone cannot count on? This would cause prejudice. Not only that, when conducting face-to-face interview, it is necessary to wear something appropriate instead of wearing sandals, a pair of colorful favorite shoes, and wearing formal clothes. Just like online interviews need to dress modestly and neatly to give a positive impression to the employer, it has been said that in Islamic ethical values, a person is seen through his moral. The good is moral, also good in the way they're dressing. Don't know employment history. And last from me, when you apply for a job, either online or in person, of course the employer assumes you applied for the job because you are interested in the job and know the job history applied for. The job date, the job title, and company information from the angle your point of view. In Islam, everybody is a Khalifah. To become a Khalifah, one must have a lot of knowledge. It is for our own good and can meet the needs of life. When we have the knowledge, of course, we can answer all the questions given during the interview and will get attention from the next employer accepted a job in the place.